Folks, this one pricing strategy makes no sense to me. I'll tell you what I mean and then get into the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending August the 9th, 2023. So I'm seeing lately this pricing strategy that is just totally confusing. Let's back up a little bit. One of the biggest goals of a listing agent when a property gets listed is to have a really good understanding of where the home should sell at. And obviously that's got to be communicated with the seller, and then the property gets put on the market because the seller kind of feels, okay, that's the price. I'm happy to sell it at that price. You got to have a really good understanding of that. And part of the goal of listing the property is to make it simple and easy for the buyer to buy the house. What I mean by simple and easy, if the buyer's agent has questions, he's got to be able to reach the agent. If the buyer wants to see the property, it should be simple enough to book a showing, and the times should be accommodated in general at the times that the buyer wants to see it. Make it easy, and then when they put an offer, it should be simple, smooth, and you negotiate for sure. That goes back and forth. Should be simple and easy. There's a price, a list price, and then there's an offer date. And so the buyer sees this and understands, okay, so that's the price, there's an offer date, the seller's intentions are on that specific date. Most likely buyers, hopefully there's more than one offer and buyers are competing. That's the idea of the offer date. Or more traditional prices where it's the list price and there's probably a bit of negotiating room. Could be a lot, could be a little, but there's some negotiating room. That's the traditional way. You see a price, the buyer thinks, okay, that's within my budget. Let me go see it. I like it. Let me put in an offer, and usually a little bit less. That clear, simple, easy. Here's what I'm seeing now that is just really confusing. Sellers are listing their properties somewhat around what it should sell for, maybe a little bit less. So when you see this list price, you're thinking, oh, it's traditional, because there's no offer date mentioned. You go see the house, you decide you like this, you put in an offer, and the whole time the seller's intention is to get more than the list price. And in their mind, they've priced it intentionally. In their mind, they feel is low. And it's really confusing to everybody. Many times I'll call ahead if I'm working with the buyer. I'll call ahead and speak with the listing agent and kind of ask, what's the seller's intention, price-wise? And the agent will say, oh, they're expecting over asking. And I'll say, but it's kind of priced really kind of where the market is, especially in a declining market. It may be priced a little bit lower than the previous sale. It kind of makes sense that the list price is around the list price is what it should sell for. But that's not the seller's intention at all. It makes no sense. It goes totally against the grain of make it simple and easy for the right buyer to buy the property. It's confusing, frustrates everybody, but I'm seeing this more and more and more. This type of strategy really needs to be talked about between the listing agent and their seller, because in my opinion, again, makes no sense. Who you hire matters. If you get value from this video, subscribe. If you feel it could help somebody you know, please pass the video along. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, at the end of this video, check out this great 2-bedroom plus den condo. It's a corner unit in South Richvale, Richmond Hill. Affordability, it's a big issue these days. It's not just exclusive to the York region. It's seems like a worldwide issue these days. However, let me show you the first slide here. It's average sold price for detached properties for Markham, Vaughan, and Richmond Hill. Look what's been happening. Average prices have been going up. And when we look at kind of the average of the three, the average sold price of a detached property for a week ending August the 9th for Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham is hovering around $2 million. And yet we talk about affordability issues. Well, I can tell you the 2 million plus category of homes, not so much affordability issues there. You're going to see people are buying these properties. The affordability comes in below that. And we're seeing pockets that traditionally, pockets of neighborhoods, traditionally where sales would happen quickly, and these are the more desirable neighborhoods. In the below 2 million price point, we're seeing properties sitting there. Look around your neighborhood, you'll probably have properties that have been on the market for a while. That's where the affordability issue comes in. People buying 2 million plus seem to still be buying those properties. Let's start with Vaughan. I've got detached properties for Vaughan broken down by week for a whole year. For week ending August the 9th, 23 detached properties were sold. Sales are declining. 5 of those properties sold at $2 million or more. 5 out of 23, it's a high percentage. Basically a little bit less than a quarter of the properties sold at $2 million or more. And it shoots average sold price way up to $2,052,000. Before that, average sold price was declining, but over the last few weeks, when we go from 3 and 4 properties selling at $2 million or more, and then we shoot up to 9, 7, and this week we're at 5, that combination, and when we're only selling in the mid-20s, average price is kind of up and down quite a bit. But there's other data we could look at that kind of really points to the market trending down overall. So compared to last year, 2,052,000 is 25% higher than where the average sold price was for the same week a year ago. The median price of 1,599 is 2% higher. Now the median price really is more realistic as to what's happening with the market in this situation. And when we look at the dotted line, which is a 4-week moving average, we can kind of see median price trending down. Average price is all over the place right now. Sales have been trending down. The percentage of property selling at list price or more is 35%. And that's much lower than it was just a few months ago when we were in the 60s and 70s. We're now at 35%, half of where we were just 2.5 months ago. Listings are trending down. Active listings, the amount of properties available for sale, that's trending up. So there's more and more properties sitting on the market, unsold at the end of the period. You could see that number trending up. Months of inventory, look, 3 months ago we were at 1.2, 1.5, 1.4. We're now at 3.1. Pretty much we're in a balanced market when it comes to detached properties in Vaughan. 3.1, and the average days on market, we're sitting at 18. We were hovering around 10 and 11 for a while. We're now at 18 as the average days on market. Here's Richmond Hill. Only 17 detached properties were sold for the whole week. 4 of those, a little bit less than a quarter, 4 of those sold at $2 million or more. Average sold price, it's over $2 million. It's $2,062,000, pretty close to what the average sold price was in Vaughan. $2,062,000 is 20% higher than where the average sold price was a year ago. The median price of $1,750,000 is 13% higher than where the median price was a year ago. And prices for Richmond Hill over the last few months have been actually quite steady. Sales have been trending down. the percentage of properties selling at list price or more is 29%. We used to be in the 60s and 70s. It's now at 29%. So that's trending down. Fewer and fewer people competing, fewer and fewer buyers competing for properties. Listings are trending down. Active listings, we used to have 140, 160, 170, then 200. We're now sitting at 252 properties sitting unsold midnight of August the 9th. And months of inventory, 3 months ago we're at 1. We're now at 3.4, and we've been in a balanced market in Richmond Hill for detached properties for a while now. 3.4 is the months of inventory. 17 is the average days on market. We were 8 and 9. We're now at 17 average days on market. Here's Markham. 13 detached properties were sold. 3 of those were at $2 million or more. Again, just about a quarter of the properties sold at $2 million or more. Average sold price sitting at $1,943,000. Now, 13 is a huge drop from the previous week. I could tell you already, because of that drop, the calculation for months of inventory bases the calculation on the current sales. If that's what we do for the month, how much inventory do we have? Well, if we go from calculating, well, if we're selling 28 a week, and now we compare it to selling 13 a week, chances are months of inventory is going to shoot way up. The 13 were sold. Average sold price of $1,943 is 15% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price of $1,739 is 10% higher than where we were a year ago. Prices in Markham for detached properties, a little while ago were trending down, but over the last 4 weeks or so have been pretty steady. Of the 13 that sold, 39% sold at list price or more. We were selling in the 80% at list price or more. It's been dropping. We went to 60, then to 50. We're now at 39%. Listings have been trending down. Active listings have been trending up. And months of inventory, just like I said, has shot way up. So this is not, unless we continue to only sell 13 detached properties every week, this is really not a realistic months of inventory. And as long as next week sales shoot up a bit, months of inventory will come down. But for this week, it's sitting at 4.2 months of inventory. And regardless of the 4.2, we were sitting around 0.9 and 1. It has been climbing. We've been at 2 months of inventory for a while. The previous week, 1.8. Now we're sitting at 4.2. Average days on market, we were 7, 8, 9. It's now 15. So generally speaking, for Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham, the detached market, average price, little difficult to pinpoint because there's so many luxury properties selling. However, active listings is up, sales is down, months of inventory is up. It is a declining market right now. And for most cases, we're sitting in a balanced market. Here are condos. This is for all of York region. 23 condos were sold. One of those was at $1 million or more. Sales have been declining. Average sold price sitting at $717,000. And except for this 1 week where it shot up a bit, average sold price from here looks like it's been quite steady. If we kind of go back to the beginning of the year, average sold price for condos was increasing, but for the last 2 or 3 months, looks like it's been pretty steady. But we're going to take a closer look at that. $717,000 is 2% higher than where the average sold price was this week last year. The median price of $689 is also 2% higher versus the median price last year. And if we look at the dotted line, which is the 4-week moving average, we can see, well, the median price was going up, and because of this one drop, it looks like it's coming down a bit, but it looks like it's going up. And the average sold price may even be trending up a little bit, but it's kind of flat, but maybe trending up a little bit. Of the 23 that sold, 52% sold at list price or more, and 50% is kind of the average, the way it's been for the last 3 months and more. Whereas the detached market, we could see that percentage dropping. Not so much in the condo market, it's pretty even. Listings have been declining. Active listings have been increasing. Months of inventory sitting way up there at 5.3. It's technically now in a buyer's market, but I don't think that's really the feeling you're going to have. It's going to feel pretty much like a balanced market, and it's because of that difference in sales for the 1 week. But months of inventory, 5.3 right now. Here's a quick summary. In most cases, if you say, we're kind of in a balanced market, you'd be right. In very few neighborhoods, you're going to see that intense competition where it's still a seller's market. Very, very few. The home has to be really exceptional, really priced well or aggressive, let me say, where buyers want to compete for it. But in most cases, not so much competition, very few showings, not that many offers coming in. In most cases, it is a balanced market out there. Thanks for watching. Now check out the 2-bedroom condo right now. Welcome to the Grand Genesis, located at 9088 Yonge Street. This is Unit 705A. It's a large corner suite, great views from these floor-to-ceiling windows. You get sunshine all day. It's almost 900 square feet, and you get 2 bedrooms, a large den, 2 full bathrooms, and comes with parking and locker. Location, you can't beat it. You're in South Richvale, Richmond Hill. You could walk to Hillcrest Mall, Silver City, lots of shopping, restaurants. Everything is close by. Have a look.